Alrighty, guys, we're back for Rotation Proof Demir Poison Control, and this is an Outlaws, a Thunder Junction Standard brew, and I'm Redcat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, this was a suggestion down in the comments, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. I want to bring attention to Arcane Proxy here. This is a 7 mana 4/3, but it has prototype for 1 in double blue. It'll be a 2/1. So we're definitely going to rearrange that because I don't know how often we're ever going to play this out for 7 mana. So with that prototype, it's a 2/1. So when it ETBs, if you cast it, exile target instant or sorcery card with mana value less than or equal to Arcane Proxy's power from your graveyard, copy that card. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. Beautiful. So we have a whole bunch packed in that we definitely would not mind casting for free once we play this down on turn 3 or something. And then at that point too, it acts as like a chump blocker. What are some of those instants and sorceries? Well, we have all 4 Experimental Augury in here. That's a good one. It's a 2 mana instant speed. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And then also proliferate. We have Prologue to Phyresis is a 2 mana instant speed. Each opponent gets a poison counter. Then draw a card as well. Nice. So we have all 4 Serum Snares as a 2 mana instant speed. Return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. If that permanent had mana value 3 or less, proliferate. So that extra proliferate should hopefully be going the extra mile as one of the main ways to get those extra poison counters onto the opponent. We also have a couple Anoint with Afflictions too. This is a 2 mana instant speed. Exile target creature if it has mana value 3 or less, and then also has Corrupted here. You just straight up exile that creature instead if its controller has 3 or more poison counters, which hopefully is all the time. We do have all 4 Voidwings here. Might as well finish going over the 2 mana cards, right? So that 2 mana, 2/1, flying, toxic 1, and then when you proliferate, you can return Voidwing Hybrid from your graveyard to your hand. So once the opponent inevitably ends up burning this away or something, hopefully it sticks around often. Another 2-drop, we do have all 4 Founding the Third Path as well. So this is a saga with read ahead. Chapter 1. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell with mana value 1 or 2 from your hand without paying its mana cost. Chapter 2. Target player mills 4 cards. Chapter 3. Exile target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard, copy it. You may cast the copy. So of course, for that center chapter, by the way, you're going to be targeting yourself. There's going to be cards in here. Like, of course, you're going to want some instants and sorceries in the grave anyways for like Arcane Proxy, but if you end up like milling away some of your hybrids, you can end up proliferating and then getting those back to your hand anyways. And then for the bottom ability, when it says you may cast the copy, it doesn't say for free or anything, so you definitely still have to pay for it, but still, when you're hitting things like a Prologue to Phyresis and just getting those extra poison counters and card draws and just being able to do it over and over again in a build like this just sounds pretty powerful to me, actually. So onwards to the 3 drops, we do have some ways to restock our hand for some reason because there's so many other cards that are restocking our hand anyways or replace themselves, right? Like Augury and Prologue. But Distorted Curiosity also made the cut. It is sorcery speed. It's 2 and a blue. It does have Corrupted though. So this spell costs 2 less to cast if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. And then you just straight up draw 2 cards. I think it's going to be very easy to have this at 1 blue mana to draw 2 cards, which just seems very, very powerful. We do have all 4 Vraska's Fall in here. So each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker and also gets a poison counter. Nice. We have a Halo Forager here, which is a 3 mana 3/1 with flying. And when it ETBs, you may pay X. When you do, you may cast target instant or sorcery card with mana value X from your graveyard without paying its mana cost. If that spell would be put into a graveyard, exile instead. So you guys can see why I opted for more Arcane Proxies, because at 3 mana, you're getting one of those powerful abilities like extra poison off of the Prologue or something. But with Halo Forager, you'd have to pay 5 to do the exact same thing. However, that also means you can pay 6 and maybe cast back like a Vraska's Fall or something too. So still worth the 1 of, I think. On the very top end, we have a couple emergency board wipes with Deadly Cover-Up. Over in the mana base, we do have a couple Mirrex. We have a Blast Zone over here too, which happens to work pretty well when you are proliferating a lot. We have all 4 Underground Rivers, all 4 Undercity Sewers, and a couple Restless Reefs as well, leaning towards the islands because that's what the deck is leaning towards. over in the honorable mentions, guys. Some pretty important things. Some counter spells could be pretty good in a deck like this, especially when we're running a Serum Snare, but I don't like counter spells, so get out of my list. Nah, but seriously, honorable mentions for a reason. 3 Steps Ahead is a good one. Bring the Ending is also a very good one too. Definitely honorable mention for a reason. Thrumming Bird is a card I thought about. Drown in Ichor as well. Reject Imperfection. Just more counter spells. Just definitely something to consider. And then a top end of Vraska. A Betrayal Sting could be really cool too. Okay, guys. I do my dandiest to save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video. So let's go ahead, take this into some ranked, and see how we do. Right into that first game. Let's go. What am I expecting from the list? For a lot of these rotation-proof lists, we can't expect too much right now because we're still going up against like the top tier meta lists of the current standard, and there are a lot of powerful established cards that will be rotating out. I guess I'm not expecting too much, but at the same time, every now and then we see Dimir Poison pop up, and it's always a little bit surprising at how well it does. I'm going to give this a shot. We have a lot of ways to actually get that black source, and Mirrex kind of helps us mana fix for turn 2 if we want to go right into the hybrid. But we'll see. We might just go right into founding the third path as well. And then play the Prologue to Phyresis. It depends what the opponent ends up playing here. Wow, the opponent mulligans down to 5. That's not something you see every day. Yeah, we might need the Mirrex to mana fix us the black source for Vraska's Fall, which is why founding the third path might just be our turn 2. Or another reason. And yeah, the extra card draw and everything, and then recasting it on the third chapter of the saga as well. Whale of the Forgotten. Okay, interesting. Oh, Portal to Phyresis. Oh dear. Oh dear. I'm scared. All right. Founding the third path, we'll go Prologue to Phyresis. Poison counter, draw a card. Hey, there's a swamp. Beautiful. So we could play the swamp next turn. Play Proxy and then Prologue to Phyresis again. Alright, mill 4 cards. I'll do that. We definitely don't want to mill the opponent. I think they'd just appreciate that, if anything. Right? Another Mirrex. Okay. For now, though, we're just going to go... Well, Vraska's Fall wouldn't be bad. But we're just going to get that Proxy down, I think. Draw a card. Gonna get to cast something for free. It might be Serum Snare. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, though. Maybe it is the Vraska's Fall for the turn. Actually. Nah. Let's get the Proxy down. And we can actually... It's going to be Prologue, though, I think. Actually, pretty cool. I like it. I like it. Seeing Proxy do the thing in game 1 here. Why did I think that this had flying, guys? When I went over this card, did I say that it had flying? Well, it doesn't have flying, if that's what I said earlier. And like in my head too, I was expecting to see that little hover animation too. I have no idea why, honestly. I really don't. Squirming Emergence, luckily only at 6, so they couldn't grab the portal. Although portal would only pop one of our creatures. The problem there is, of course, is they'd begin reanimating anything else that was huge. Not too much chilling here. We'll take that one for now. So we get to copy the Serum Snare or decline. I think we'll take that. I think we'll do this. And I mean, I guess the Proxy. I guess we could also do the Founding back to hand too. I'm going to play the Hybrid for the turn though. There's not a lot else in the grave. There's not a lot else in the hand actually. Let's bounce the Proxy. I'm going to need a blue source on the board. I guess we'll mana fix with the Mirrex for the turn. And proliferate. And take that action. Oh, we can't decline that action anyways. Okay. Okay, Mirrex. Drop the Voidwing Hybrid. Dude, there's a lot of value going on here. Look at our hand. Our hand is completely stacked. We do have to be very concerned though. Oh, they find a 5th mana. Invasion will bring back Portal because it's non-land permanent. Oh, non-battle permanent. I always do that. Yeah, it's non-battle permanent. With Portal coming back, we should be very scared. Hybrid off the board so the Toxic isn't getting through. And then Portal starts reanimating on their next turn. So that Deadly Cover-Up's going to come in handy for sure. They're going to just swing face here instead of Invasion. Anoint with Affliction. Okay. Let's do... So the Undercity Sewers for the Surveil could be fine. We're going to save the Deadly Cover-Up for now. My apologies, opponent. I am thinking, my friend. Because there's definitely a lot to consider here. Arcane Proxy hitting nothing out of the grave right now. Hybrid number 2. Anoint with Affliction. Exiles. So that's good at least, but we should probably save it for something a little bit better. Actually, so what we're going to do is we're going to get an untapped source down and just keep the Vraska's Fall for more poison, and then play the Hybrid. There's a lot to consider here, man. Because, like, we could have played Anoint with Affliction and then went Arcane Proxy and taken out both Archaeologists, but is that good? Probably not, because they're probably going to start playing bigger things anyways. They are going to take our Hybrid. Yeah, once they start playing bigger things, we're going to want that Anoint with Affliction, which we still have available if we want to go for the Exile over the Fall. But I want to get the extra poison through right now off of the Fall. Because in this game, there's a chance of playing Proxy out for 7, playing the Fall again. Okay, they go for the mill. They see another Whale of the Forgotten. Maybe they don't have a lot of top end here, but this is Atraxa colors, dude. This is big time Atraxa colors. Oh, I'm sorry, I thought they were the ones holding us up. I don't know how long that button was highlighted there, so. Yep, so we're just gonna take the 1. I'm waiting until like the end to drop the Fall. Unless there was like a real good reason to do it, because it's probably just gonna be this Archaeologist. They're just gonna bring it back with the Portal anyways. We're literally just doing this for the poison. See what they do. Ow, my face. Yeah, with 5 on the board, 2 land in hand, Undercity Sewers next turn, Mirrex for a 7, drop Arcane Proxy, bring the Fall back for more poison. The Deadly Cover-Up can hit the Archaeologist when it comes time. We want them to bring that back first. Okay, so we see an island. So this turn, it's still going to be Surveil. See what we see. We don't want to send a creature, I know that much, because they'll just pick it up with the Portal. Blast Zone. That's interesting. I'm going to send it, though. We don't need more mana. We just need more ways to deal poison damage. We could still go Anoint with Affliction. There's so many tough decisions. Okay. Okay. We're going to go Anoint. As soon as we do this, they're going to drop the Atraxa or something. So maybe we should save the Proxy. We get a swing now. And they don't get to revive that. Okay. 5 poison. I wasn't expecting this deck to be so hard, but maybe it's not difficult and I'm just struggling with Magic right now. Yeah, so we have the Proxy, but I'm just going to save it. I'm going to save it for a lot of reasons, because if they drop Atraxa, we're going to need a way to get around that. Outside of that, too, we might just need more poison when it comes time. If they miss the Atraxa, going for 7 mana Proxy, grab the Vraska's Fall. This seems much better. Oh, buddy, they find a Titan of Industry. At long last, they're probably thinking, right? Because it took them forever to find their top end. However, I mean, Portal to Phyrexia is a top end as well, though, so... So gaining life doesn't do much. That's a very good decision from the opponent, grabbing the shield counter, because now Deadly Cover-Up doesn't hit the Titan, and we are very much on a clock. Deadly Cover-Up is destroy all creatures. They don't know we have this, but they can assume based on the deck. Hey, founding the third path. What are you doing over there? They go for the second. They read ahead to 2. They go for the mill. I feel like they're missing a lot of their top end, or maybe they just don't have a lot of top end in here. All right. It's still probably going to be the board wipe for the turn, unfortunately, guys. But they get to keep the Titan of Industry is the problem. Oh, interesting. Experimental Augury. We're getting there. We're going to start with this. Getting close. Distorted Curiosity. Founding the third path. We could cast a... No, we have to pay a lot for that. Another Arcane Proxy isn't bad. It's going to be Curiosity, because just stocking our hand with more ways to proliferate and whatnot. Should I proliferate onto this so they don't get that ability? I'm going to do that. That's actually really mean. You may cast the copy. Oh, you know what they could have in here, though? A 1-mana card. No, they just exiled. So they do miss the ability on the Founding the Third Path, right? Because they can't cast it now, and it won't just hover there forever, so... Yeah, they don't have the mana for this. They're trying. That scared me for a second. I thought it was about to go through or something. All right. So now we're going to draw 2. Hybrid Augury. There we go. So that's another Proliferate. All right. Founding the third path and another Experimental Augury. That's what we grab. Get that Proliferate. They're at 7 poison. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, guys. We're going to die next turn. They have... Oh, no, they don't have 15. Oh, I got so scared there for a second. They have 14 on the board. They have 14 on this board. Let's just play the island for the turn. We have Hybrid here. We do have the swing, or we can play the... we have the swing Proliferate, or we could play the Chump Blocker. Or we could keep 2 Chump Blockers back, too. So I think we're just going to swing. Reach! It's even screaming at me! Oh no! My Hybrid! I'll just play the second one. Not my Hybrid. So they got this new animation for Reach because it happens all the time that players swing into Reach, right? And I did it anyways. Like, they have this big old bow over the Titan of Industry. You know what's really good about that, though? You know, it ends up working out in our favor, funny enough. The shield counter's gone, so now Deadly Cover-Up is brutal. We have to chump the Cruel Samophage, probably. Oh, dude, they could easily get 15. Yeah. Yeah, they could easily get that. Each equal to the number of creature cards in all graveyards. So I guess they could mill themselves at instant speed with something. I'm sorry, guys. I feel like I'm playing this out very poorly. Down to 3. I think it was worth the block into the Cruel Somophage just in case they found something fancy, milled themselves for a lot, and then got the excess damage through there. I feel like that was worthwhile. Maybe. Kinda. Maybe. I have no idea. Oh, man. This is why I play aggro, man. Jeez. I'm not saying there's not a lot of tough decisions in aggro decks, though, but there's just like a very different line of decisions that happen to be much easier on me. So they're looking at their grave. It's probably another invasion of Telvada then, which as long as it's not like a Titan of Industry, I'm okay with that. The Deadly Cover-Up is going to have to... We're going to have to collect evidence for 6 because... I don't know which ones I want to grab yet. But we're going to want to exile the Titan of Industry so they can't grab it back with the portal. And then at that point, we probably start with the Augury because we technically could win. We could find just more proliferate, more ways to give poison, and then continue with the proxy too. And they know we have the proxy as well. Squirming Emergence, they grab the founding the third path. So yeah, before we do Deadly Cover-Up, we could easily win this turn. Wail of the Forgotten. So if they have 8 or more permanents, they get to choose 1 or more instead, so they can choose multiple. They're making us discard a card here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 on the board. All right, so it's probably Mirrex then, right? Just in case, if we don't find what we need on the Augury to win, then we're going to need to drop the Deadly Cover-Up to survive the extra turn. It's going to be mana, so we start with the Augury, and we will gladly tap the Mirrex first here. All we need to do is find something that gives poison or proliferates. There we go. Grab the Augury here, proliferate. Bring these back to our hand, I guess. Well, thank goodness. Thank goodness we are not getting punished this game, huh? Distorted Curiosity. Totally works, right? And Proxy. Grab an Experimental Augury. They drop the nice. Thank you, opponent. Grab the Hybrid. They drop the Concede before the final poison gets through. 17-minute game. I gotta be 100% with you guys. Man, that felt like a 30-minute match to me. Oh, buddy. They also missed their Atraxa, which is pretty lucky for us. We don't know exactly what their top end looked like. Honestly, dude, with how much it... Oh, there's the Atraxa. They got it there last turn, maybe? Before they were able to grab it with the portal, we were able to get the last bit of poison through. Proxy really proving itself there. That was beautiful stuff. And if we didn't see that other Augury off the third Augury, we did have that other, we had the Serum Snare for more proliferate there too. So that also would have worked. So see, we actually saw multiple cards there. That was tough, man. And I definitely could have played it out better too, which I think might say something about the build, honestly. We'll see. We'll see if we can keep up the pace. Yeah, it might say that the deck is actually just not half bad. But yeah, no, we'll see. All right, we'll give this a shot, and Mana Fix on the Mirrex, probably for Hybrid. Although we do have the draw on the Prologue again if we want. Excuse me, guys. Get out of my hand, opponent, you monster! You stay away from my proxies. No, don't do it. Hybrid! It exiles them. Oh, no. Oh, Hybrid was definitely the choice then there. Oh no. The exile, guys. I'm gonna do this on our turn so we don't take damage. Hybrid. Yay. Opponent, don't do it. Oh, okay. It's just a hopeless nightmare. We get to decide which one hits the grave. With what we have in hand, we can't send the Hybrid, although that's usually a good card descend. I'm just going to send a Vraska's Fall and hope that's not a bad one to send. Oh. Okay, one of the proxies, I guess, because more variety is best. Deadly Cover-Up. Mirrex, no! Oh no. Oh no, guys. Oh no. I think this is heavily leaning towards the opponent right now. Oh, they don't have anything. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Okay. Dude, let's just go for Arcane Proxy. It is an artifact too, so it doesn't get picked up by Go for the Throat, which is good. They don't have a blue source, so it's landing, so we do get the card draw. And they get more poison. This is good. This is excellent. Yeah, drawing cards is so essential when we're discarding so much too. We're probably going to want to keep that Undercity Sewers, because everything else is dealing damage to us too, so... We go for the Hopeless Nightmare Scry 2. They keep 2 on top, but never underestimate the power of scrying 2. They go for Hopeless Nightmare. I guess Deadly Cover-Up. That's a really tough decision, man. That's a really tough decision. Future of the Schism. Right, founding the third path. Not doing a lot right now. We could always start it on 2 and mill, but... Let's go for the Scry and see what we see. Or Surveil, I mean. Proxy. Proxy, you're probably not going to do too much yet. We're definitely just looking for more right now. And I'll do this on our turn. Tapped out, more poison, swing with Proxy. Even though the whole reason is actually getting the poison through, there's no reason not to swing there, right? If they were playing something, a deck that had haste, then we would keep the Proxy back as a blocker. So we can't even double down on the hybrids right now. So I might actually start with the mill on the founding. I guess we'll start with the swing, see what they do. Because it's probably going to be another Hopeless Nightmare turn. Bit of spot removal too. Sheoldred's Edict. Okay. We have 1 card remaining, and a Hopeless Nightmare is very likely going to be popped here. We'll get Voidwing Hybrid down. We're taking so much damage from the rivers, but also the Hopeless Nightmares have been doing a lot of damage to us too. And the Mirrex really holding us back right now too. Especially that early turn. So we're going to go Founding for the mill, and then see if we can cast something back next turn. Mill ourselves. What do we hit? Ooh, that's all of our top end, dude. Actually, all the proxies, 3 falls. That's really bad. That's really, really bad. But hey, we get them to sacrifice the Aclazotes, I suppose. 1, 2. So we go like that. Have to not pay here. More poison. Aclazotes can easily flip next turn, but we do have a lot of poison rolling through here. They're tapped out. I'm just going to play this now because that's what we're going to do. Down to 8. Opponent has 5 poison. I don't know why I thought 6 poison already. Bloodletter. Why? They find great blocks in the air. Mana on the top. Is this still worth a full swing for 1 poison? No, because we're going to die next turn probably. So we keep a double block for the Bloodletter, but then we could still just end up dying next turn anyways. Could be something else here. Just generating the Mirrex token. 1 poison goes through. We don't swing and hope that we can survive next turn to just find more. Oh, so I will generate the Mirrex token. Oh, it doesn't matter. They chose non-token creature. Dang, Sheoldred's Edict really coming in handy here, which unfortunately means we don't have the double block into the Bloodletter now. So we could have waited to create the 1/1. My brain automatically created it for... I thought I was going to be sacrificing it, but no, Sheoldred's Edict reads differently. So we'll take 4 and see if we die, because they could play a Hopeless Nightmare and just end the game. Obliterator! Wow. Oh, Distorted Curiosity is a really good draw here. That's really, really good. Mana! Oh no! Oh no, we flooded out, guys. Dude. Alright, let's see what the opponent ends up doing here. Oh wait, trample on the Obliterator, and we can't even block with the Might anyways. So we should have just swung for fun then. But I'll generate a Mirrex token. So we could have gotten the opponent to 6 and then died regardless. But even when we do keep the blocker, we end up dying here. So we actually end up taking 8 total. Good game, opponent. That's something else, dude. This one's really racking my brain. You know what? You know what? I'm gonna sit up straight. I don't know if there's going to be a great way through that game, especially on the flood there. I think we could have seen a lot. There was probably so much that we could have seen in a better order. But again, I feel like I'm playing it poorly. So I could probably be playing these out much, much better too. What the heck is this? Vertise Scorn. We got 3 uncommons. Okay. Thank you, game, I guess. It must have been a level up reward or something. Yeah, so far so good for the deck, though. It does actually feel pretty decent, doesn't it? I really like the proxy in here. That game was very odd, where we saw like 3 Vraskas fall, all 4 proxies hitting that grave. I guess we could have just seen much, much better things. Both of the deadly cover-ups in hand. We do go first here. Founding is not the turn 2, and Mirrex is not going to be holding us up this game. Yeah, I'm just going to keep it, because I don't think it's that bad. Start with the island. There's a chance of seeing an untapped black source for the hybrid, where we're not taking damage from the river. And I think we want to keep the Mirrex's mana fixing later on, just based on how these have been playing out so far. Uh-oh, human on the cavern. We could be in trouble very early here. We're going to keep the Mirrex's mana fixing for the cover-up just in case. Like, there is a chance that we don't see any more black sources for that long. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. So they're probably going to be buffing one of the wardens here. Luckily, the life gain isn't going to be doing too much for them, as we're going for the poison anyways. All right, so we actually have the hybrid established, which is awesome. Here's the second black source for the cover-up when it comes time, but it is excess damage as well. So it's founding the third path turn, and we probably start with that to see what we draw on the prologue to Phyresis. I don't know if it could affect combat, but it might, so we're going to do it. It's actually going to be a swamp, so I guess that'll probably be the play for the turn. Okay, 2 poison counters for the opponent. This deadly cover-up is going to be really, really good if we survive long enough, which we should be able to. Get the swamp down and established, and think about that Mirrex for next turn, maybe. Especially if we don't see anything else, generating a Mirrex token could be really good if they tap out again. Hey, speaking of which, Mirrex. War Leader's Call. And they might as well swing instead of go for a warden ability. It's a good swing. Now we have to survive the turn to get the deadly cover up in time. Prologue, Vraska's Fall. So Proxy is a chump blocker that lets us still get the poison through on the hybrid. So we mana fix with Mirrex to take less damage. We go Proxy. And we'll have Deadly Cover up next turn. Get the draw on the Prologue. 3 poison counter. Another proxy. I hope we survive. Let's do this swing. 4 poison counters on the opponent. Unfortunately, founding the third path not going to do too much for us because we are going to be forced to wipe this board for sure. With War Leader's Call, we're in some... we're in big trouble. Actually, if they play any more creatures out of hand, we're going to die this turn. Right? Well, they won't be able to do a Gleeful Demolition again without playing an artifact on the Mirrex or something. But with a full swing... Oh, they can get Warden into the sky. Oh, it's going to be Knight Errant for the turn, actually. I was going to say, they could go 1, 2, 3, 1 on the Warden, 1, 2, 3, 1 on the Warden. That's 5 in the air. And then if they played like 2 creatures on... Wow, they're still going, dude. They're still going. Oh, no. Knight Errant restocked their hand, right? I didn't see what 2 cards they grabbed, but... now they don't have the 3, though, to get it into the air. So we still have the chump block, but we're super dead. We're going to be taken forward down to 2. They still have this Warden of the Inner Sky, a draw on the clue. We are just going to... So we're forced to grab one here, so it's actually just going to be the fall. And then we're going to decline. Okay, another Mirrex. Not bad, I guess, but it'll be, since we already have... No, we can't take 1 because then the Warden kills us. So we have to Mana Fix on the Mirrex. So we want to start with the swing for the 5th poison. Like that. Mana Fix on the Mirrex. Deadly Cover-Up. Search its owner's graveyard, library for any number of cards. That player shuffles, then draws a card for each. What do you guys think? Should we get rid of Warden here? Collect that evidence. What do you guys think? 1, 2, that'll be 6. Wait, submit 11. Oh, the proxy, dude. The proxy's a set. I'm sitting here thinking it's a 3-mana card. No, there we go. Perfect. We'll collect that evidence. Probably hit the Warden and see what happens. They can draw, but maybe they'll miss a creature. So hand, library, graveyard, and then also they dropped the nice. But here's something we. Oh yeah, no, we're dead. So they have the Lunarch Veteran and probably another creature off the top then, especially since they drew on the Deadly Cover-Up anyways. The War Leader's Call probably ends this. They go for the clue. It passes back. We're alive! And we're probably going to be dead next turn, but still. Serum Snare, if we bounce this, we die to the call. So it's probably going to be... It's probably going to be Proxy first. Oh, we don't have a blue source that doesn't deal damage to us. And we don't have a black source that doesn't deal damage to us, so we don't have the cover-up either. Oh, so we're going to die. Oh, that's 6, so we can't play it out for 7. Good game, opponent. Drop the GGs. Destroy ourselves with Painland. Brutal stop. Against Boros, though, I mean, we had an uphill battle regardless there, right? Oh, buddy. 40 minutes in. Honestly, I'm afraid to go into the last match of the evening because this deck's really hard for me to run, man. All right, let's go one more because I think we can easily end on a high note too. We're definitely seeing that a much slower pace control vibe from the list, but do we actually have enough control packed in to deal with those more aggressive decks like that Boros? Not really sure. I think we had a lot of things coming down on time for us last game. I think the War Leader's Call, obviously being the big MVP from the opponent there. Being able to drain us even after a board wipe, you know? Mountain from the opponent. And the mana base has been a little bit janky too, so we definitely want to consider maybe dropping a Mirrex just for more regular land. Anoint with Affliction is not bad. We can keep it all open or just play a hybrid for the turn. Probably hybrid for the turn. I'd much rather get the poison ball rolling or have hybrid take some burn away from our face. Or chump, that works too. Or trade, that works too, right? Yeah, Anoint with Affliction deals with Godric nicely, and we'd much rather them stack cards on top of Godric first. So let's play our island. Vraska's Fall could also deal with this now while getting the poison ball rolling. Let's see what they end up doing on their turn, though, because all of this is instant speed. I think it's going to be Anoint on the Godric. But there's the adversary. Yeah. I'm going to keep the Fall back and hope that they stack some stuff on top of the Godric. It doesn't look like they're going to, though, does it? Okay. Can I go to the blocking step or the Anoint with Affliction? I believe I can. I believe it still stops without me hitting full control. Yeah, they're going to stack it onto the Bloodthirsty Adversary. At that point, taking out the adversary is a little better here to fizzle out the Monstrous Rage. But we don't need to fizzle it. We can wait to see if they play anything else. We do need to fizzle it because Godric goes into the air. However, they do have something else. Okay. Patience. Patience was key here. We are going to take out that Godric, take 5 from the adversary. We are very much in danger. Deadly Cover-Up is probably going to still come in handy, funny enough. With only 1 card remaining in hand, we're going to go ahead and keep 2 things open. Serum Snare is not the greatest right now. But again, everything's at instant speed here, so... 5th mana from the opponent, Godric. Godric number 2. I think we're going to just bounce that for the turn. Let's see what we draw on the Prologue. Get the Poison Ball rolling. Hybrid, huh? Okay. Yeah, we don't want Adversary to go back to hand, so it's just going to be Godric back to hand. I go for the swing. It's 3 or less, so we get the Proliferate. So starting, like, doing this in the right order to get the poison going. Hybrid comes back to hand. Going down to 7, we are in danger, bro. Deadly Cover-Up's available, so next turn we really just want to chump as much as possible, or if they give us a double block. Or we could keep the Vraska's Fall open too. Go Hybrid as a blocker. Vraska's Fall will take care of one of the creatures at the very least, get more poison. Chump the other. Take out the adversary. It depends on their draw. Dude, this is rough, man. Okay, let's see. We have a lot of options all the time. Alright, so we take out the one with Trample before Godric enters, and then we can chump the Godric. They go for the swing. And our Deadly Cover-Up could come down to take care of the Godric, but is that really what we want to do? Arcane Proxy, now we can exile the Godric. Dude, that's brutal. That's a really, really good draw. That's so good, dude. Holy cow. Serum Snare that's not something we want. We want to take care of the Godric no matter what here. Opponent has officially fizzled out. They are in a top deck war. I guess technically so are we. Oh, Adversary. That's also a really good top deck for the opponent. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, dude. Actually, we don't even have a double block now, do we? No, we do. But we're taking a ton of damage. We're taking 4 damage. Now they their top deck could be like anything. Lightning Strike ends it. Any other hasty creatures ends it. Another adversary. Anything. Dude, we're in danger. We could keep the Reef. I'm going to keep the Distorted Curiosity. We have the Reef as a blocker, but what are the odds that they just top deck? Burn anyways. Maybe we should just swing with the Reef. Nah, because I like Distorted Curiosity on top. And I guess there's like a good chance that we need that blocker on the ground. Kamano brings us down to 2. Now there's even more that they can see off the top to end this game. Okay. Distorted Curiosity, you gotta find us something amazing, dude. Prologue to Phyresis. Sure, sure. I'll get the Blast Zone down and use the Blast Zone because we need as much mana on the board that doesn't deal damage to us as possible here. Oh, Arcane Proxy. We could save for 7, but I don't think so. I think we're going to want to play it right now. Prologue to Phyrexis. That gives us this on the board. Oh, no. We're good. Okay. I was going to say, we don't want to go down to 1 because that would mean that they could top deck a Kamano as well and end it. We're restocking our hand nicely, getting more poison through. Arcane Proxy is so good, dude. Oh my goodness. It's Play with Fire. Good game, opponent. Ah. Dude, we were on the run that whole time. We were on the run all day today, huh? 25% win rate on the deck. That's probably about what I should get with how I played the list too, right? But how much of it was the deck list and how much of it was just me playing it out poorly, right? Definitely let me know in the comments. Arcane Proxy, free drop. That's what it is. Like, we're very, very rarely going to play this out on 7. I suppose it will happen every now and then since we are a control list. The 25 mana felt like a lot of mana, but we're drawing so well, and we're going to need that mana very often. Halo Forager, and we're going to need to hit 5 on time for the Deadly Cover-Ups too. We're going to be wanting to do a lot of things on the same turn all the time. So like founding the third path, for example, when we're exiling an instant from the graveyard, casting that, and then also playing something else back from the hand. Like if we cast something from the grave that proliferated, grabbed a hybrid back from the grave, play the hybrid all in the same turn. What's that mean? 4 to 6 mana on the board at any given time is very, very important. So getting 4 on time, and then the deck does not mind getting 6 by turn 6 as well. So I think the 25 mana makes sense. However, I feel like we were heavily punished today by the rivers. These were rough, bro. See, a big problem there is with rotation, we're losing those slower lands that don't deal damage, which I think would be much, much better in a list like this. So maybe just opt for a different slow land, maybe like the land that gains life. I don't know. I'm not 100% convinced by that. It's something to consider. We already have slow land on the Reef, and Sewers coming down early, but coming down tapped late game is actually pretty bad too for this list. So like the mana base didn't really feel optimal at any given stage. So you guys will have to let me know what could we do differently to the mana base. I was going to drop a Mirrex down to 1. It just makes too much sense to have the 2 in here, and there's not going to be that many games where you end up seeing both Mirrex and then get super punished based on what else you have on the board. Like that one game, we had 2 Mirrex and then like a couple rivers, and like the rivers were the only things we could do anything from our hand from, so we were just taking so much damage. So I think the big thing on the chopping block in the mana base is actually the underground rivers. Opting for slower mana might actually be pretty good in this list, especially since we have no 1-drop. So on turn 1, you just get those slow lands down and don't even worry about them, and then the rest of the game, they're not dealing 1 damage to you. Let's take a look at those slow land real quick. but very specifically rotation-proof land. That's another thing too. Like, is this deck list going to get better with rotation? Who knows, man? Who knows what the meta is going to look like, and who knows what the new set's going to look like. So Soured Springs is one thing. The 1 damage you don't care about in this list at all. You are going for the poison, period. There's the, oh, Dark Slick Shore. Wait a minute. Undercity Sewers. Oh, I am opting for the slow land. Yeah, no, we were surveilling in those games. No, guys, okay, so the deck list isn't hard to run. I'm just being silly today, all day, right? Yeah, there's the Dark Slick Shores. Okay. Underground City, Underground River or Dark Slick Shores. Man, the Underground River was doing a lot of damage to us today, wasn't it? You guys make that decision. Let me know in the comments for sure. Which one would you opt for? I think I'm going to keep the river just because that's what I played with today. That's what to expect. When I put this up on Aether Hub, I'm putting it up as jank anyways. So that's another thing, man. With a lot of these rotation-proof deck lists, really be careful with what you're crafting. It's kind of like I said, we don't know what the meta is going to look like. Even after the new set drops and everything rotates, if you care about your wild cards, I would wait a couple weeks, right? See where everything starts to settle, see where the good cards actually are, and not just like the cards that people hype up at the beginning and then they end up not working in the meta at all and stuff like that. So be very, very careful with these rotation-proof lists. I would personally put this one on the do not craft list, even though it was really, really cool. There's just some expensive things like Arcane Proxy. Like this was really neat to me. I don't know. It's just kind of, it's like, hey, I played the thing on 2, and now on 3, I play the thing again, but now I also have this cool little creature that, for some reason, I thought had flying at the beginning of this video. I don't know if I said it out loud that it had flying, but every time I look at this card, it's just like, oh yeah, he's like flying around or something. I don't know. Do you like the double deadly cover-ups? The double Vraska's Falls? Like, sometimes you're going to have a hard time actually starting the poison ball, and you're only going to have the proliferate cards in your hand, and so that's why having all 4 of the Prologue to Phyresis, all 4 of Vraska's Fall, all 4 of the hybrids, you need to start the Toxic Ball before you start dropping the Proliferate. So all 4 of all of those make sense. Mirrex also a way to get the Toxic through as well. Once you do get the Toxic through, you benefit once you have 3 or more on the opponent for the corrupted cards of Anoint with Affliction and Distorted Curiosity. The proliferate cards are Serum Snare and Experimental Augury as well. When you are proliferating, you're grabbing Hybrid back from the grave. It goes to the grave when the opponent kills it inevitably, or when you have to chump block with it, but then it also goes to the grave if you mill it off of like Founding the Third Path, which is another way, like the Arcane Proxy, to go ahead and cast those important things back from the grave to do even more poison. Same thing with the Halo Forager as well. And then just more removal on the deadly cover-up. When we go over the deck list like that, you can really see why the numbers are the way that they are for the list. But does it need just a little bit more somewhere? A little bit more control? Maybe some of those counter spells, they made the honorable mentions for a very good reason, let me tell you what. So maybe like messing around with some of the numbers, going up some counter spells. Going up those counter spells probably would have made everything even harder for me today, as this deck list was brutal for me for some reason. Okay, hey, enough rambling, huh? If you made it this far into the video, for real, y'all are champions. I super duper appreciate you. Make sure you check out that description where we got that Discord link as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. That Patreon really does go the extra mile. So thank you to all my patrons. All right, guys. Hey, I will see you in the next video.